Hi guys, it's Madeline with Madeline Diet Designs, and I'm here today with part 3 of my video series, which is about the Christmas junk journal swap with Jessica from Paper Terrace. And in the last video we had finished up the cover, and now I want to talk about some easy pieces of handmade ephemera you guys can make to add to your journals, because that is what I'm going to be doing next. So we are going to go over this really fun journaling card, an altered plain card, some little snippets clusters, an envelope, and this is an envelope pocket. Okay, so let's go ahead and get started with this number 1, which is our fun journaling card. Isn't that so fun and vintage? Well, I'm going to let you guys in on a little secret about this guy. I actually made him out of wrapping paper that I purchased at the Dollar Tree. Yes, I got this adorable wrapping paper at the Dollar Tree, and it inspired me to do some crafting and some journaling cards. So let me go ahead and show you guys what you need besides the wallpaper. And this is actually a thinner wallpaper, which I think works better in this kind of application. So I have already trimmed out some images here, and I have some cardstock ready to go. Okay, and I'm going to show you guys how I made this. So, super easy. You can use Mod Podge, but I've been using this gel medium matte, and I've been really liking it. And so I've got my little paintbrush here. I'm so sorry if you can hear that puppy in the background. My husband got back from pheasant hunting, which I think I mentioned he was pheasant hunting in the last video, and my puppy, my Uma, wants to come in here and talk to me, but this is not a good time for her. Anyway, I will go love on her after this video. So I'm just taking a little bit of my matte medium here on my brush, and I'm just dabbing it kind of on the back right here of this piece of wrapping paper, and then I'm going to take it and center it as best I can. Again, in no way are we going for perfection here. And then I'm going to take a little bit more, and I'm just going to go over the top of this with the matte medium. And you can see right here it's kind of coming up a little bit. I just take a little bit of the matte medium on my brush like that and just kind of scooch it up underneath there. Is that an artist term? Scooch it up. And then I just go over it and make sure that it's got a really good coat over the top of it. Okay, so super easy. Look how cute that is. All right, so now you can either wait for this to dry, or I have a heat tool, so I'm going to go ahead real fast and hit it with my heat tool just to help it dry a little bit. So sorry guys, this is going to be loud for just a second. Okay, that's pretty good. That's almost completely dry. And when it gets completely dry, it will dry. It'll be flat. Okay. So at this point, and this is again totally optional, I take my corner rounder and I just round the corners. Okay. And then I take my vintage photo distressed oxide, and I just do a thick, kind of a thicker outline around the outside with it. And then after I'm finished with the outside, I just kind of very lightly do kind of I call it dirtying up, but just kind of making it not so white, making it look more vintage. And I just sort of blend it from the corners into the image just a little bit till I'm happy with the way it looks. So there is idea number 1. Super easy. All right, so we're going to put this guy to the side and let him dry all the way. Whoops. Let me get my light back on. The next thing I want to talk to you guys about is this right here, which is my altered playing card. This is absolutely one of my most favorite things to make. I love making altered playing cards. So obviously you're going to need some playing cards. These two I picked up, I think, at the Dollar Tree, and this one is just a vintage one. I actually have some of these listed in my shop. And I have a piece of a napkin here. And to start out, you want to take all the layers out of your napkin except for the very, very top layer, okay? Because that's all you really need. And you can see on these two, I've already gone in and done some work on them prior, but I'm going to start with this brand new one, and I have a sanding block. Again, I think I got the sanding block at the Dollar Tree, but I'm sure if you have any kind of tools or toolbox in your house, you can get your hands on a piece of sandpaper. You're just going to rough up your card, okay? Because it's just going to make it a lot easier for your napkin to stick to it. And what I've done with these is I've already roughed them up and put just the insides of the napkin that I take out over them. And then on this one, I just did some paper, some book page. So we're going to go ahead and just rough up that outside like this. And then I'm going to take some more of my matte medium, get my brush, and I'm just going to lightly put a coat on this roughed up edge here, like this. Okay. And then I'm going to take my napkin and lay this over my card. Okay. Grab my scissors, trim this out. Okay. I'm going to press that down good, and then I'm going to come back with another layer of my matte medium, and I'm just going to seal that in with a top coat. I love doing this. I have tons of napkins, different kinds that I just collect because I just think this is such a fun thing to do. Okay, so you can see that right there. And then I'm going to gently go back in with my sanding block, and I'm just going to very gently kind of get it to tear, or right here along the edge with my sanding block. You don't want to go in there too rough, because that happens right there. What just happened is your napkin will come off. So really with this step, I mean, we're just trying to get the bulk of the excess napkin off. Okay. And you can also wait until it's dry to do this, but I wanted to work on the back side of the card, and so I'm going ahead and doing it. Actually, this is a great project if you have just a little time to like go ahead and do this part, and then you can come back and do more. Okay, anyway, so flip it over. Again, take my sanding block, I'll rough that up a little more. Okay, take just a teeny bit, my matte medium like this. And on this side, I'm going to add some vintage book page, and this is just a piece of vintage book page from Christmas songbook, and I'm going to put that on there like this. Okay, and I'm going to get out my heat tool again and just give it a hit to help it dry. Okay, now you'll notice I didn't go back over it with a layer of matte medium. I'm going to actually let this dry and come back to it at the end because hopefully I'm going to rip this off and some of it's going to stay and it's going to have that sort of vintagey looking look, roughed up look with the book page. Okay, so we're going to move this to the side, let that dry a little bit, and we are going to move on to our next one, which is this handmade envelope. And these are so easy, guys. And also I do want to mention that I did some sewing detail on some of my things, totally unnecessary. I just like to add that extra texture, but it's completely unnecessary. I have got here some these are 8x8 pieces. When you go to make an envelope, you want to start with a square. Okay, so I'm just going to pick this one out. And you look at it, it's the shape of a diamond, and you take the two sides in, and I just eyeball it, okay? And you want to get the points to match right here, okay? And then I'm going to press that down, okay? And then I'm going to bring up the bottom of the envelope like this, okay? And that's going to be my bottom flap. And I'm going to go ahead and just trim right here, that part off. Turn it around, and then I am just going to fold it like this. Okay, and there you have your basic outline for your envelope. Now I'm going to open it back up, and again, this part's optional, but I like to go in and remove a little bit of bulk, and so I just take out these little triangles in the corner here because I just like to remove a little bit of that bulk. Okay, so now I'm going to go back in like this and clean up any little edges I have there that I don't like, and that's going to be covered. Okay, that bottom one's going to be covered, so I kind of want to make that match a little bit better. So I'm going to go back in over here and just trim a little bit more of that. And I'm very happy with the way that looks, and I've got my art glitter glue here, and I'm gonna just go in with my art glitter glue and run a bead right here. Actually, I am not gonna run a bead at the top because that's gonna close our envelope, and that's not a good idea. Okay, and I'm gonna fold this up. And there we go. Give this a good press. Okay, good. And then I'm going to come back around here like this. And this is my flap. I'm just going to cut a little bit off my flap here. And voila, you have your envelope. Now, this is very imperfect, but I'm okay with that, because this is a handmade item, and you know, you can always go back. I'm gonna ink it up a little bit. You can always go back and try to, you know, bring it in and fix it and make it look the way you want it to look, but you know, I'm really okay with this, because what I'm probably gonna do is, after I put this to the side, we're gonna work on snippets. I'm probably gonna take one of my snippets and decorate this envelope like this. So I'll probably glue it down on a page and lift it up like that, or I could do like this and have it be a pocket. Lots of good options with this. Oh, I hope it was in frame when I was doing that. So anyway, we're gonna put this to the side, and now we are gonna work on snippets. I love snippets. So I've actually made a little plate of goodness right here. And when I'm making a journal, I take little pieces of lace, paper, leftover fabrics, things like that. I have some Tim Holtz ephemera. I've got some vintage tickets here. I've got a little bit of doily, and I just start making snippets. So this is my personal process. And this is again a piece of vintage Christmas right here. So I am going to just rip this up like this, and I am going to lay them down, and this is just my process. Okay, let's make sure I'm in the frame. That's great. And then I'm going to take a little bit of this doily. I think this is so pretty. It reminds me of snowflakes. Okay, and I'm just going to rip it. I find that if I overthink this, that's where I run into a lot of trouble. Okay, so now what I'm going to do is look at my fabrics, my textiles, my laces, and I'm just going to start to layer. Just going to start to layer on some of these items. Just randomly layer them on. Okay, very happy with that. And then I'm going to go and find my focal pieces here and just kind of decide where I want them to go. I think I'm going to do a little Tim Holtz on that one, and maybe a little label on this one up here. Okay, I love that, but I feel like I need to get a little bit more fabric going on in there. So I'm actually going to just take a little bit of lace, and I'm going to layer some lace in. And you know what? I've got this piece of ribbon, and I'm going to layer this piece of ribbon in with this one like that. And I just kind of look at it, and that looks good to my eye. I just kind of move it around till I get it the way I want it. And then I will take my Tim Holtz tiny attacher, and I will just staple it. All right, and so there's one right there. Super easy. Let's finish another one. I'm gonna go with a piece of this here, this lace. I really like it. Okay. And I'm gonna work on this one. I'm gonna layer it with the paper, the doily. I'm gonna layer this in here. I like for things to be on top of each other, but peeking out just a little bit. That is just my process. And then I think I need a little pop of something. So let me look and see what I've got over here. Oh, you know what? I really like this guy here. Okay, that little piece of trim. And so I'm just going to take my tiny attacher, and here we go. And give it a little staple. And you know what, guys? I think that this one is going to look amazing on this envelope. So I'm going to go ahead and just glue this down right here with a little bit of my art glitter glue. Okay. Love it. Love it, love it, love it. So I'm very, very happy with the way that looks. And that'll dry. And then that is a good little piece of ephemera to tuck into a journal. Okay, I know I've got a couple more of these to do. I will finish these off camera because I want to go ahead and get to the last one before this video gets way too long. So let me move this out of the way. And the last one is pretty simple as well. I have some vintage envelopes. I love finding vintage cards, vintage envelopes at thrift stores and rummage sales because they have already been weathered for you. I mean, look how nice and weathered that looks. I just love it. So I just glued my envelope shut. I'm going to trim a little bit off the top like this. And then I have some super old music pages here. And what I want to do is create kind of a layered pocket with my music here. And let me grab my ruler, my straight edge, because I really just want to give this a rip like that. Very good. And then just take my glue, and I love how aged this music looks too. I just love using vintage items when I can find them. And then we are just going to carefully place this on our envelope like so. And then we have a pocket that we can glue into a journal, sew into a journal. You can see on my example that I actually went around and put sewing on it. You don't have to. Actually, let me see. I'm going to take that other snippet I finished, and I am going to use it to decorate this pocket because I just think that would look really pretty on there. So there we go. We're just going to just stick that on there like that. And there you go. You've got a little double pocket, could be a triple in your journal if you just kind of put a bead of glue around the outside, and you'd have a triple pocket there. So perfect, that's our last one. Now I did not forget about our card. I want to go back to the card here, and I want to just rip off this excess paper like that. And look at that. Look how this leaves this cool, makes it look very, very old and vintagey. It's still a little wet, so I'm going to continue to let this dry. But there you go. That's how you get that look on the back of your playing card. So anyway, guys, thank you so much for watching this till the end. And I think the last video is going to be a final flip through of the journal when I get finished for Jessica. And I'm also going to go back and probably in another video show you the second journal I made with in the video, the one that I made in the video with you guys. So anyway, please have a great day and talk to you soon. Bye.